From the streets to the studio, from crisis to recovery, from awareness to action. Ask the Messengers. We bring you real talk about public health, addiction and recovery, and the issues that matter most in our communities. The message is hope. The message is change. Ask the Messengers begins now.
America, here I am. When I say an amazing tribute to exonerees, we're here at the African American Museum, Charles H. Wright Museum, and I have a little break in my voice because honestly, these stories are not just heartbreaking, but they're also uplifting. So much in so little time with this one event, and it's here tonight. And Ask the Messengers, we are covering it because we bring you information that no other show can bring you, and that's because we're for you. Stay tuned.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is an honor to be standing before you at the Charles H. Wright Museum on this day. A sacred place that holds so much of our legacy, our struggle, our stories, our difficulties, and our triumphs. So being here today, standing before you, something that was never even supposed to happen, according to them, is an honor. As she said, I served 19 years, 7 months, and 12 days in prison for a crime I didn't commit. And I was exonerated 4.5 years ago. My journey started. I still struggle with how to accept that response. It's definitely a club you want to be in, but you don't want to have to go through the initiation in order to be in it. I remember the day after I was sentenced to a natural life sentence without the possibility of parole. I was supposed to be sentenced on my birthday, 2001, November 5th, but something happened and they postponed it for a week, so they sentenced me on the 12th. The way they do it in the county jail, after your trial, a few weeks later, sometimes a month or so later, you're sentenced, and the day after you're sentenced, they send you off, at that time, the Jackson quarantine, the infamous Jackson prison. I remember when they were getting ready to load us on a van, and you're handcuffed, your handcuffs is shackled around your waist, and you're shackled around your legs, and you're also tethered to every other prisoner in front of you. I was the last man on the chain. So I was the last one in the van, the Wayne County Sheriff van. And I had a window seat, and the window was covered with like a gate that you have to kind of like look through. It's kind of foggy because you got 15, 20 guys in here. Everybody's breathing. They don't have any AC or any heat or anything going, so it's just like misty in there. But I remember that day, and I told myself one day I was going to tell this story. At that time, I had just learned how to read and write. But I knew on that day I was going to tell this story. Walking into prison, it's like walking into a funeral home. You have people walking around, living bodies, but it's a sense of death everywhere you look, especially within you because you're grieving the loss of your own life. When I was found guilty of something I didn't do, I died that day. And I felt it. It knocked everything out of me. Everything. And before I even got to that point, I was already in loss because I had lost all of my material stuff. I had lost relationships. A lot of people didn't answer the phone when they put them handcuffs on me. And still ain't answered the phone. Thankfully. I'm up now. So I was in a state of loss. My daughter was 2.5 years old. I was ripped out of my family, torn away from my community. My whole life had fallen apart. I was in debt. The lawyers, they sucked every dime that my family had. and I still was found guilty. Prison is a very volatile environment. Everything that you've heard about it is true. Yeah. And some. What you don't know about it is every day you're under attack in that environment. You're under attack every day. Not necessarily by the prisoners, that happens too, every day. But you're under attack by the same system that had rolled over your life. Here I go through a system that had found me guilty of something I didn't do. Corrupt detectives set me up. Knowingly set me up. It wasn't a mistake. They did it because that's what they wanted to do, and they broke and bent every rule they could in order to make it happen, and they did it. And others that wasn't a part of it watched and said nothing. In fact, most people don't say anything until it happens to their family, and then they call me, or they call him, or him, or him. But wrongful convictions is America's dirty secret. It actually weighs on the very soul of America. This criminal justice system weighs on the very soul of America. And if there's ever to be redemption, America has to acknowledge that. Yeah. Prison is a hot environment. I think that's the best way to describe it. Hot, heat. Because you're close to being like in a hell. And it's going to burn up everything in your life, including you, until you're a pile of ashes. But like Phoenix, where's she at? But like Phoenix, if you stay focused and endure, you can rise from the ashes. Like I've been blessed to be able to stand up after my wrongful conviction and get out here and actually do something.
Hi, everybody. It is a privilege and an honor. I have Dr. Marvin Cotton Jr. here, and I want you to tell our viewers the name of your business and pretty much how you got started.
Thank you. I'm very honored to be here. The name of my business is Better Not Broken, LLC. I also have Better Not Broken Community Development Corporation, which is the nonprofit wing of what I do, the work that I do.
And how long have you been doing Better Not Broken?
Better Not Broken is 4.5 years old. As you know, I was wrongfully convicted. I spent 19 years, 7 months, and 12 days in prison for a crime I didn't commit. I was exonerated 4.5 years ago. So when I walked out, maybe about 60 days later, I started my LLC, started my own business, started working for myself immediately.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. What a testimony. Yeah. And I saw on your business card, it was Organization for Exonerees.
Yes, I have.
You have so many. Listen, I'm trying to cover them all so that you guys know who we're here.
I have several organizations that I either founded, co-founded, or it is my business. Organization of Exonerees is an organization that I co-founded. An exoneree is somebody that's been exonerated. So they spent time in prison for a crime they did not commit. And we noticed that there was a lot of gaps. So we wanted to fill those gaps. So we founded an organization to be able to meet those needs that someone rebuilding their life from zero needs.
That's amazing. I don't think people, the viewers out there, know like numbers or statistics, how many people are wrongfully convicted, like the people that you service.
Oh, yeah.
So in doing so, when you say bridging the gap, what services do you provide? I mean, I know when some people go to prison, they're shell shocked. A lot of things change out here. Laws change. Cost of living changes. How do you bridge those gaps?
Well, you know, when I got out of prison 4.5 years ago, it was like walking into a new world.
See,
everything.
I see movies about it. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be funny, but like people don't really know. They see the movies like, oh, this is Shawshank Redemption. It's Mr. Brooks out here, you know, seeing some stuff. But like, what was it like, really? I know a lot of people may not have seen your face. Maybe they know your story, but they don't know all the ins and outs. And this is what this platform is for, so they can know what is out here for their loved ones and things like that.
Somebody that's been wrongfully convicted or have just spent substantial amount of time in prison, relationships are either gone or damaged because of, prison is kind of designed to crush those relationships. You get out, you don't have clothing, you don't have anywhere to live, you don't have an ID to even get a bank account to set up your life. So what we do at the Organization of Exonerees is we fill in those gaps. We can jump over the hurdles and get somebody an ID immediately, get them a bank account immediately, get them in housing, wraparound services, take them shopping, put money in their pocket. So we're able to do a lot of that immediately. And that didn't exist when I walked out.
Really?
It didn't exist.
So
no.
nobody was there to help you just get an ID? They don't help you with that leaving prison?
When you're on parole, so someone that actually committed a crime, and of course they need those services, they have notice that they're going to get out. They have months and months notice. I have 4-day notice.
Okay.
So 4 days isn't enough time to pull anything together. And there's been guys that had even shorter notice than me. But if we can get notice within a week, we can pull some things together for somebody that's going to be exonerated. Now, it didn't exist then.
That's amazing. What you're doing is a testimony of, how heartache and things that happen to somebody can actually benefit other people. It's a godsend. So if somebody wants to reach you, can they write you? They know they have a loved one that has been wrongfully convicted, and they know it. They know they've been wrong. Is there like a process, a number, some way to reach you?
Yeah, most people reach out to me on social media. They find me on Facebook, which is Marvin Cotton Jr. They find me on LinkedIn, which is the same. I'm also on Instagram, _real_FMC. And I'm also Better Not Broken on there as well. So I'm not hard to find. You can send me an inbox. Keep it brief, let me know what the circumstances is. I'll ask questions and see the information I can ascertain and see how I can help. So if somebody's been wrongfully convicted and they're out, they've been exonerated, and they've fallen through a crack to where I'm not aware of them, reach out to me. If they're still in prison and they need some assistance, reach out to me. But under my different platform, which is Better Not Broken, whether they've committed a crime or not, I will help them get their life together and set their life up. So
Better Not Broken, you can assist almost any individual.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. So obviously you have your business. What is in the future? Are you guys going to have an app people can get to? What's next for Dr. Marvin Cotton Jr.?
It's interesting that you said that because I just had a final meeting yesterday about some changes to an app that we've been developing for the last several months. So the Organization of Exonerees, we do have an app we're going to roll out, which is going to, technology is one of the biggest problems that somebody that spent 20 years in prison faces.
Yes, I just told you, I see that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the phone and, a laptop and things like that, that's just very difficult. So we developed an app that is very simple. That can take people around and just have all of the connections and information they have. Even inside of the app, we teach people how to use a phone. So
I am look, it's an honor to be sitting next to you. It's amazing what's been happening. I'm so glad that things have turned out the way, obviously people go through so many hardships.
Oh, yeah.
On average, I know it's kind of hard. Kind of like, I want them to know that you're making this huge difference. But how many people have you helped?
Well, here in Michigan, in the last 5 or 6 years, there's been about 46 exonerations.
Wow.
Now, about a dozen of those happened before I got out. But since I've got out and we established this organization, we've helped every single one after that. So it's been close to 30.
Wow.
Close to 30, and sometimes that care looks like long term, and sometimes it's short term.
Oh, you're there for the long haul.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because everyone comes out with different levels of trauma. We're talking about a wrongful conviction where most of our guys had a natural life sentence. I had a natural life sentence without the possibility of parole.
I can't even.
So I was condemned to die in prison for something I didn't do. So even getting my life back, yes, that's a beautiful thing. But what damage did it do in the process? How many things did I lose that I'm,
what you had to go through
absolutely.
in prison. Like it can change a person who really had a meek spirit to be just, you know, you have to carry your own. I mean, I don't know from personal experience, but I know from family members.
You've heard some things about prison.
Man, people think movies are crazy,
Yeah.
but some of them, they get real information.
It's everything that you think, and it's even more than you imagine. It is a very volatile environment. Some prisons is, you know, for lack of better terms, popping off every day. So imagine trying to be your best and grow in an environment to where everything around you is really trying to take you out.
You don't just run a nonprofit. You're not just out here in the community. You're actually putting things on paper so people can hear your story. Tell our viewers a little bit about that.
Well, I do have a book. It's a bestseller. It's called Better Not Broken. It's an Amazon bestseller, so it's easy to find on Amazon. It's a self-help book, but I wrote it like a memoir or autobiography in a way because I wanted people to be able to experience prison without going through it so that they can see the trauma through my eyes. And I also put a toolkit in there from chapter to chapter so people can apply those things to their life. Because they always ask, how did you get through that?
Yeah.
You know?
I want honestly, you know, you want the details without asking because it's kind of like probing into somebody's life.
Absolutely.
But to give a depiction of that, and it's in black and white,
Right.
I don't have to ask you.
Well,
I can read about it.
Well, I'm an open book, literally. So
Literally. You guys go get the book, support the organization. If you have family members that have had trauma, obviously he's helping people. He's got proven record statistics. And as he's helping those individuals, he's helping your families. Listen, check him out, support him. Dr. Marvin Cotton Jr., more to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have a recovery story of your own and would like to share it right here on our show, record the video and send it to us. Our email information is right there on the screen, askthemessengers@gmail.com. Have you ever experienced bullying and come out stronger, or are you still on your journey of healing? Your story could inspire others to find hope, strength, and understanding. We're inviting you to share your bullying experience in a short video, whether you are a teen facing challenges or an adult looking back on what you've overcome. Your voices matter. Here's how to participate. Record a short video, 3 to 5 minutes, sharing your story. Be as open and honest as you feel comfortable. Then email your video to askthemessengers@gmail.com. You'll be contacted if your video is selected. Together, we can create a world where everyone feels seen, valued, and supported. Your story could help someone realize that you're not alone, and let's stand together against bullying and build a world of kindness and understanding.
Hi, everybody. I have Mr. Darryl Woods here. We are here at the African American Museum, and you're here yet again supporting the community.
Absolutely.
What just happened tonight?
Phenomena expressions of pain, phenomena expressions of transformation and resilience. Those men and women spoke to the heart of transformation and empowerment. Condemned some to die in prison, some spend decades in prison, but they didn't allow their wounds to get in their way, and they told us what we need to do to be able to end mass incarceration. They told us what we need to do to be able to stop wrongful convictions. And so I was just deeply inspired and motivated tonight by the expressions of the men and women resilience and compassion. And I was just really, really touched.
It's amazing that you can obviously attest to some of the feelings that they had, but to be in a position that you're in, I mean, it's basically unheard of. You're in a position to make change, and some of you viewers may not know his position. Tell our viewers kind of how you got into this, you know, into what you do.
Well, after doing 29 years in prison and condemned to die in prison myself, I identified with their pain and their struggle, but I didn't allow my wounds to get in my way. And I turned lemonade to the lemons that was given to me and dealt to me. And now I'm the chair of the Board of Police Commission for the city of Detroit, where we have oversight of policies and be able to hold officers accountable who are do wrong, and to make sure that we have a system that do not allow injustices to occur in our system. I fight every single day thinking about people that was in this room today. And so absolutely, it's an honor and privilege to serve. I'm also serving appointed by the governor of the state of Michigan to the State Appellate Defenders Commission, where the indigent appeals occur, and so it's an honor to be represented on that body as well, being a voice for the voiceless. And we're going to make sure that we continue to speak truth to power, and that justice roll down like waters, and righteousness like a mighty stream.
Let me tell you that the checks and balances that it takes for you to be police commissioner, I mean, do you feel like change has already come? Because that's an appointed position. Somebody looked and said, hey, you know what? Somebody that's going to be there when a police officer does wrong, to sit there and judge and figure out, the steps to go from here. Do you think that Detroit is in the forerunning, when it comes to change and reform of what's happening for prisoners?
Absolutely, unequivocally. We have one of the best conviction integrity units. The mayor had the insight and the foresight to choose someone like me, who he knows is unbossed and unbought, and allows me to be able to call a spade a spade. And we have had the ability to suspend a number of officers without pay, and we make sure that our citizens are being treated with dignity and respect. And so we absolutely, we're in an age of transformation in this system. I'm very, very happy to see what's going on in the Michigan Supreme Court, holding wrongful convictions up high on the list, and I've watched the way that they've been able to correct many injustices that have occurred. And thank God for the Conviction Integrity Unit through the Prosecutor Worthy's office. We have a record number. Wayne County has the most exoneration put together in the state. Compare all the conviction integrity units in this state, and Prosecutor Worthy have the most than any prosecutor in the state of Michigan combined.
I just want to say thank you for coming on Ask the Messengers TV show. Obviously, we are in the community. We've seen you. You're not just in an office. You're still in the community. We saw you at the Peace March. We were there. We're here at America I Am to cover this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all that you do for this community.
Thank you.
Would you like to help us save lives? You can do so by partnering with us here at Ask the Messengers by making a donation of any amount. The people in your communities need your support. Help us extend our reach and impact more lives. Supporting our organization is as easy as a click of a button. Just visit our site shown on the screen from your phone or computer, where you will see a yellow donation button. Ask the Messengers is waiting on your partnership, and your community is waiting on you.
If you prefer mailing your donations, send your check or money order payable to Ask the Messengers TV show and send it to 18400 Schaefer Highway, Detroit, Michigan 48235. Well, that concludes this week's episode of Ask the Messengers, and we're asking you to take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you to our guests today, and we hope the information shared will be of some help to you, your family, and your community. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and keep standing for what's right. See you next time, right here on Ask the Messengers.